You've done your application, sent your CV off, and then you get an email back to say that you've got an interview. Whether you've always been the star of the school play or whether the thought of talking in front of anyone terrifies you, interviews can be enough to send the most confident of public speakers into a little bit of a panic, but it doesn't need to be that way. If you know how to prepare properly for an interview and have an idea of what to expect, then the whole experience can actually end up being quite enjoyable. In my applications video, I mentioned the STAR technique for writing solid examples of where you've demonstrated skills required in the job. You're going to need that again, but we're going to come back to that in a few minutes. In this video, I'm going to take you through how to find out what to expect at your interview, preparing to answer different types of interview questions, and finally, some practical advice for the interview, whether it's online or in person. Firstly, what to expect. Look for clues in that email. Often they'll tell you about the format in advance. If they don't, it's okay just to call them or email them to ask. It shows that you care enough about getting the job to be thoroughly prepared. If you're disabled or neurodiverse or have a health condition and you haven't already asked for reasonable adjustments, it's not too late. You can still ask at this point. Check out the Not Going to Uni blog or my video on telling employers about your disability for more information on that. Preparing to answer interview questions. It could be that you'll have a task or a presentation to do, and then a panel interview where 2 or 3 people will ask you questions about your task or presentation, and or some competency or situational questions. To prepare for questions about a task or a presentation that you've done, it's simply about making sure that you understand your content and that you've written it yourself, so that you can't be caught out having used words that aren't really yours. The different types of interview questions that I've mentioned, competency and situational, and how to answer them is what I'm going to cover next. Competency-based questions. These are the tell me about a time when you've worked well in a team, or tell me about a problem that you've encountered and how you solved it type questions. They want to know how you work and what skills you've got so that they can tell if you'll be able to do the job and fit in well to the team. You can anticipate which competency questions they might ask you by checking the job description. Any skills that they ask for in there are likely to be the basis of a competency-based question. Write out your STAR examples as I explained in my applications video. Situation, task, action, result. They want to know what kind of impact you're going to have. Situational interview questions. These are where you're given a scenario and asked how you'd approach it. For example, if you're interviewing for a position in a retail job, you might be asked, you arrive at work and you've been put on a till rota, but 2 colleagues who are meant to be restocking shelves have rung in sick and the team are really behind. What do you do? In any customer-focused job, they're listening for how you put the customer first and how you're a team player. A good answer to that scenario could be that you check in with colleagues to see if they needed help and what with. You'd speak to your manager to let them know that you're going to help out before any customers arrive at the store, and that once the store opens, you'll find an area near the till to continue restocking so that you'll see if any customers need to be served. Finally, a few practical tips. If your interview is in person, make sure that you've done either a trial run or at least looked it up on Google Maps so you know exactly where you're going. If it's online, make sure you've downloaded any relevant software, you've tested your internet connection, and that you've got a contact number for the interviewer or the company, just in case you need any help during the interview. For both types of interview, dress the part. Yes, even if you're at home. Dressing smartly for your interview puts you in a professional frame of mind and will boost your confidence. Think about your body language. Folding your arms or fidgeting makes you look nervous, so try to keep your body language open and put your hands in your lap if you're struggling to know what to do with them. Remember to look in the direction of your interviewer. That doesn't mean that you have to make eye contact the whole time or stare into the camera throughout, but it's a good tip to try not to look down, and if you're online, put a sticker next to your camera so that you remember to look there. There's more information on interview questions on the Not Going to Uni blog, so check that out so that you're as prepared as you possibly can be. Good luck!